See what is up, my BBossBaddies and my Batman fellas. So today, I hope you guys are ready to talk about when and why she only wants D. Now, it's been a while since I've done this topic, and honestly, fellas, I haven't really been doing it just because YouTube policies, no cap, like certain stuff I want to talk about, but we definitely have to save certain things for Patreon. Check out my Patreon down below, but I will be getting to the raw stuff. Are y'all ready? Because I am. Okay, so the number one way, and it's not really a list, it's really a discussion, but we'll just say number one just to get into this. And that number one way is when she hasn't seen you in a while. So I'll kind of do it like a story time way, if that makes sense. And you guys will understand hopefully at the end, okay? So give this video a huge thumbs up. If you guys do want a part 2, let your girl know. And this way is going ahead and making her wait. And also the better and the best part is making her wait while you're around her. Now, let me not get into that part. That part is actually a lot more exciting. When you're around her, the suspense and what you can build up in a woman, fellas, do not understand how serious it is. So let's go ahead and backtrack. Making her just wait in general, what causes this to make a lot of women want the D is, first of all, women expect to get it. So it doesn't matter if you're the hottest guy on the block. You got to get that her ego's built up. She feels like she's that girl. She feels like every man out here would want her, right? So in all conclusion, if that's the case, that technically means that if she asks for it, he's going to be available. So yes, sometimes guys be like, okay, well, girls don't want to give it up the first time, or, you know, they won't. They're not going to make it easy. But here's the thing. They will make it easy once they feel like, okay, you just checked off the box. And this is the part where fellas think it's like the most complicated part. Like, don't get me wrong. You'll come across women that'll tell you, no, that won't work. But here's the thing. Fellas don't know how to just be patient enough to say, okay, I'll wait long enough. Now, this first aspect, techniques. Let's talk about techniques and strategies. Sometimes some fellas want to just jump to see a woman off the bat. And that means, let me text her after just, seeing her 2 hours before. Fellas, whether you went out to the bar or the club or you went out to a gathering, you just seen her. You know damn well she's talking to somebody else or has a few other guys. So a lot of times some fellas maybe feel special. You got to be honest with yourself. Sometimes you guys do things, whether you feel like you're that guy or you're confident, it lets you to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll always tell you guys to be confident and do things based on, okay, well, I feel good. I don't care the results. But one thing I'll never tell you is to rush it when you know there's no way around it. Okay? So just take it like this. The more harder she looks, the badder, the colder, the tougher, and the longer the wait will be. So to backtrack, my fellas, if you text her right off of seeing her, right? Let's say you guys just hung out at I was going to say at the bar. Like, I really kind of just close at bar. Trying to be realistic with how, people meet nowadays. Obviously, online dating is a thing too. So once you guys meet, if you wait, you'll have a woman thinking a whole bunch of stuff, starting from you have other women. This is another reason why women will give it out to you. And so this is kind of like, you can say the next thing. And like I said, I'm not doing points. I'm really just here to tell you guys the raw truth. Take everything. It might be 5 points. I don't know. But the next part, fellas, what did you do? You went ahead and made her wait and made her feel like she's not important enough. So fellas, think that if you make her feel important based on what women ask for, it's going to actually validate them. But we have to be realistic. That validation word. What validates women now in the modern day? What? The likes, the compliments, the DMs, right? The coming up to her, the approaching. So how else can you validate a woman? There's no other way, right? We just know the typical ways. So if you know that if you say I like you or I want it now or can you give this up, it's going to be a form of validation, then you have to do the opposite. So it's kind of like, this is where women will kind of throw guys away so quickly when they realize that some guys don't even realize that, come on, you try this with these girls and you realize it shouldn't have worked or it wouldn't work, right? So this is why, and this is going back to my point of having other women or showing a woman that you have other options is important. Women do not want to deal with a man that's not experienced. And fellas, I know it sounds so sad, but the truth is if you never got kitty before, if you never touched the purr, then you can't expect this woman to think that, okay, well, you know what? You know what to do with it. So also another reason why a woman will want it is simply because that she knows that you know what to do with it. Now, please, it's not the same. Okay, now this is where we can get into details. And the other stuff that I talked about, if you guys want me to elaborate, let me know. But it's not the same as a woman and a man, of course, where you guys can have so much experience and it doesn't matter. We have to be real, right? If you guys go ahead and have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 body counts, even more, plus huge, you know, some guys out here, you know, we're talking about triple digits, right? Now, I'm just talking about fellas for a quick second. Don't get offended. And especially, you know, there's guys out here that maybe never experienced as well, right? So it's not the same with women, where obviously a woman wants a man for like, oh my gosh, you have all these bodies and you know how to deal with a woman so well. Let me know what you're about. I relate it back to a man because I feel like with fellas, your body count don't really matter. We got to be real. Your body count don't matter to a woman's, right? So if that's the case, that technically means that if you do have a higher count, it won't matter as much. Now, y'all say what you want to say, but it's the truth, right? A guy can be he could be a player, he could be a guy that does his thing, and it still will not it won't matter as much. Now, I'm not here to say anything about, oh, why is it like that? Shouldn't be like that. How dare no, or it should be like that. No, I'm not trying to do that right now. And it's not even about that. It's just down to the fact that because it's just different in that aspect where women do not care about your body count. It doesn't matter compared to a woman that has a high body. Wow, I can't talk. Compared to a woman that has a high body count, that simply just means that she gets excited just knowing that you can have another woman. Now, I took the long way to explain it, but I had to do it. That's why I say, let me get into the details. So if you're still not understanding, you have to get that. Yes, a man, and you guys are watching, right? My fellas, and maybe some women out here. Yes, a man can have all these high body counts. That's not going to matter because if a woman does that, it's not the same, and it won't matter if she does. It's the opposite. We know that. So if you, as a woman, now you fellas dealing with a woman, if she's dealing with you and she knows that based on your body count being so high, you can get any woman out here, that excites her to say that, okay, you know what? Well, I'm actually the baddest woman out here, or I'm that woman that you cannot get. Back to ego, back to competition, back to pride, back to a whole lot of stuff, man. I could keep going, but you know, I be saying this stuff a lot. Well, for those who've been watching. And so all that in conclusion drives a woman to honestly give it up. Now, I mentioned already things such as waiting. Making her feel important while you're waiting is going to be a key factor that I really didn't get to emphasize on. But making her feel like she's valuable, right? That now there has to be valuable. And in all reality, it's not to just make her feel that way because you still are not, let's say it like this. You're not expected to make her feel that way, right? You guys are expected to be alpha guys, rude guys, tough guys anyways. So if you guys feel like, oh, well, I don't want to make her feel a way that I don't feel, don't take it like that. Because if you showed her the opposite, like the weaker side, the simp side of, okay, well, I want the need. Okay, can I just wait 1 week? And you'll give it up to me? Do you want me to wait 1 week? If you try to take that route, absolutely, it will not work with her. And so in all conclusion, if you want her to go ahead and give a little bit of kitty, meow, purr, whatever, purr, I don't know. But if you want that, you're definitely gonna have to just be about you and waiting, and then waiting on her time. Now, it's not supposed to be just on her time. That's the case. And then most definitely, fellas, like I was just trying to say in this whole video, if it's not about you and making sure that, first of all, you're not coming off thirsty and you're not just leeching on because you want it, then you're gonna be good. If it's not about that and you make this woman feel like, okay, you know what, I'm not here to waste your time and all these things that I basically was mentioning, trying to get into. If you make this woman understand that it's not just about the kitty, it's not just about I'm only here for this good time, that's the part where it matters. All right, so now to move on, and we're getting closer to the end. I always like to do this part. When we get closer to the end, I do kind of want to touch on recaps, right, for all my new fellas. So if you're gonna deal with her and you want her to give it up, that kitty means something to her. Whether she doesn't cherish it because she's up or she's out here just doing the worst things, right? She could be a big Like, hey, she lives her life the way she wants to live it. If that's the case, in order for her to give it up, you guys, after everything that I mentioned, it will also mean that you guys, once that had and made her get that, okay, you know what, she is important enough, but you don't want to give it up to her because she can't have it. Some fellas feel like just because a woman can do these things, and I've been saying this for so long, Kitty is going to be somewhat power. Most times it's power. But it's also powerful because she has the power to it. She knows how to have power to it. There's girls out here that their kitty is like, it's like dry. It's just like, what is it? And I'm not saying that it shouldn't have value, or why doesn't it have value, or it doesn't, but you guys have this experience, or you guys see how it is with women, right? So the value comes when you guys bring it. If you treat yourself, your piece, yes, I'm talking about yours. If you treat it as if it's valuable, yes, if you treat it as and it means more than how can we say it? It means a lot more than hurt, right? If you feel like you are the prize down there and you can give and deliver, you have to make her as well wait. Now, women are not gonna wait for you guys most times, but this is the part what fellas don't get, and this is how we'll wrap up, because I'm gonna go ahead and write this down for our next video. You guys gotta let me know when you want that part. But this is the part where things reverse. You guys, women are doing things that you guys are doing, but just in different ways. All right, so if you guys reverse the roles, you'll get, and this is how I actually have to wrap up this video. I'm so sorry, I have to go today, that's why. So I'll just say, the next part is gonna come, but if you guys go ahead and finish it with reversing things, and I was almost getting to it, but we're gonna have that part too, reverse things and realize what she's done. You as a fella, there's a masculine way, there's an alpha way of you guys making it happen where she's gonna be more attracted and wanting more of that. If you guys go ahead and switch that, and switch it, change your roles, all that stuff, you guys will see what will work best for you guys to change to make it work with the women. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave my video at that. I said you guys have to ask for that part 2 because my videos be so long, and honestly guys, I don't be trying to always get these long videos out, especially when I don't have always the time. So let me know and peep the Patreon. There's a whole bunch of videos on there that won't be on here, okay you guys? So thank you guys so much once again for watching, and you guys will see me in my next video. Bye guys.